getaway, complete with a fresh-cut putting.
With great fast and true. But from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is sure to dazzle your senses. From the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike any place you've WildRockGolf.com.
TopExteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local.
Back at TPC Wisconsin, along with Tiziani, I'm Paul Braun, and joining us now is Gary D'Amato of Wisconsin.Golf. You too, Gary. I want to start just with a quick review of a couple of stats we gave in the first on Scheffler. Are you ready for this? He only made
I'm ready.
$12,000 a shot. $830,000 a round. $3.3 million per tournament. Arnold Palmer probably made about $3 million in his entire career, right, Dennis?
About that, if he did that, but he did okay after that.
Yeah, he sure did. All right. Aren't those staggering numbers, honestly?
Yeah, well, they are staggering. But I wish they applied to my game because I take a lot more shots than he does. And there's a lot more money. Yeah, they're amazing, no doubt.
And the cat, by the way, he only made about $5 million, which would have put him apparently in the top 25 on the money-winning list.
Yeah, that'd be a good gig. Getting that, you got to earn it. Huh? So. Gary, it wraps up the tour as they played. Scheffler doing that now. President's Cup in about 3 weeks, and we switch mode, what we look at. I know the Champions Tour still has events. So what's going on in your world then with Wisconsin focus?
Yeah, our competitive season wraps up pretty soon too, except for, of course, girls golf starts up, which in fact was a hand-me-down set in 1970 of hickory shafted clubs. I wish I still had them, but
probably play
I can't
better.
Wait to see all those guys. Yeah. I can't wait to see these guys and women come in and play Kenosha Country Club with that equipment. I think that's going to be fun. And then we got the WPGA Championship also next week, so we're still busy for more weeks.
Tiz, you had those.
The way it's a nice thing.
Probably use a normal golf
they'll
ball.
Use a but keep in mind they did small ball way back then.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I've still have a couple of those hickory clubs, and I remember when my brother was trying to play left-handed, and my dad threw his clubs in the bat. He said, "If you don't play right-handed, you're going to play at all." He threw all those hickories in the basket.
Yeah,
Paul, that never happened to you.
No, it never did. And Dennis reminded me one time, and he was dead serious. One of the few times he wasn't kidding me. He said, "Don't you ever play Larry left-handed?"
No.
Yeah.
Bob normally covers most of our junior golf, but I got. And then on the girls, 2 years, that's for sure.
But Gary, some young guy. That's really
contest by a yard, and I asked him, "How did you hit it?" Had this year all in a row, shoots 59, and he's going up there.
Okay, all right. That right there. Saw it there. I'll leave it there. Gary, let me ask, how long is
it's been fun. I've got to admit, it's been fun. It's been challenging.
To be the president of the National Baseball Writers Association of America. I don't think it comes with
a lot of high points. I got to a couple of years ago as the incoming president. I got to go to Rome and scout out the Marcos Simone.
Very cool. It's always good to talk to you. Enjoy your Labor Day. We'll visit again next week, Gary.
Thanks, guys.
Gary D'Amato, Wisconsin.Golf. And if you have fantastic, the work that he does.
The insurance agents can help build a customized insurance policy so you can protect stuff like this.
It's been the proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship since 2016. Family team to create 9
Open to the public and consistently country. University Ridge is the place for golf in Southern. Book your tee time at ridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros Ridge.
When you are a helping hand, turn at Oak Park Place. This is Paul Braun. Me navigate senior living for my wife. I called away from the first call through move-in day. That promotes you need it. Oak Park Place Senior Living.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something European? Imagine yourself behind the wheel. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why lease.
TPC facilities for the whole family. Holds of an elite golfing caliber challenge, but an Olympic-sized family gatherings, weddings, programs for the junior golfers. Question is, are you up for the TPC was Tee up a TPC member 1000.
Hi, I'm Sean. You become part of the amazing clear. One thing to be aware of is when it's switch to golf lingo on the job site.
You better take a mulligan on that.
Rest assured you are still getting the. Hey, is that crane getting close? Green with a new Cleary building. Like
Talking Golf, Mike Heller and Travis Becker. He is the director. It's been a busy summer, Travis, in your junior program. Your competitive junior, about how many kids in the high school version of that were having great success. Now we talk about what those programs that you have put together for the summer and playing tournament season. How is it going?
It's going at TPC Wisconsin, our PGA Junior League, which kind of focuses on the 13 and under boys and girls, is kind of winding down as we speak here. We're getting into championship season where we'll have our section championship, and hopefully one of our teams can make it through and play at the Midwest Regional against Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, those players, when you identify the U13, right? That's what we're talking about. How good is this for them? Because we talk a lot. Dennis has always been an advocate of being comfortable when you get uncomfortable. Playing in tournaments isn't always, a breeze. It can be uncomfortable. It can be nervy. So how much do you see the growth of kids working through that essentially for the first time at higher levels?
Right. This program, so I've been lucky to be involved with it for over 10 years now. So some of these kids that were 13 at the time are now graduated college.
Yeah.
And most of them, I would say, that kind of played at the all-star level all went on to play college golf.
Yeah.
And they still remember it like it was yesterday. One of our assistant professionals out here, Ryan, was on one of our state championship teams, and he's now one of our assistant professionals, and it just popped up on my Facebook 11 years ago at Cog Hill, and he said, I remember that like it was yesterday. Yeah. So I think it does a lot for these kids as they continue to grow.
And I think that one of the elements that they begin to learn about is, tournament golf is different and it's special. There's something great about playing in tournaments, because once you start playing in tournaments, you want to keep playing in tournaments. But they also learn as they go through that there are avenues in this business that are not just playing. Like, they're focused on playing, right? But as they get older, and now Ryan's working here, right? They see that there are potential lifelong avenues, not just to play the game, which is a great lifetime game, but also to work in the game.
Correct. I think all golfers, as a kid, your dream is to play on the PGA Tour, LPGA Tour, and that's where it starts. And you find out later in life how good you really have to be in if you're in that 1% category that can actually make it in play. So being a scratch handicap is different than being a tour player.
Yeah.
Just everything that goes with it. But, yeah, there's a lot of avenues. Some go into the maintenance side of things, working on the golf course. Others go into the sales rep where they want to work for a company, Titleist, Callaway, a bigger name company. So there's a lot of different things that you can do in the industry.
It's not all that long ago that working on your game in Wisconsin was limited to this window, this summertime window, spring, summer, fall. That has changed, as all sports have, because people specialize, kids specialize much sooner in a particular sport. So how does that play into, we're early yet, I mean, it's August, but how does that play into fall and then winter with kids that are involved in your junior program?
Yeah, so our summer program concluded about 2 weeks ago where we had a championship and a pool party. Our fall program will start in September, and that program focuses more on athletic performance. We involve our TPI coach, strength and conditioning coach here on our team, and we go through a lot of exercises that can start to get them ready in the fall season for the winter programs that they can be working out as well. Once winter rolls around, our winterizer program starts, and that runs January through March. And there we're working on technique, swing. We're trying to get everybody the fundamentals, just polishing them up. So when spring rolls around, we can start getting used to the grass again, working on the short game, and then summertime is for competing, tournaments.
Yeah. So is fall golf different for the kids? I mean, obviously there are fewer opportunities from a tournament standpoint as it relates to summer, but do you see, are there times when some kids will step away a little bit and get a reprieve from a grind? This is a fun game to play, but it can, if you're doing it all the time, it can grind a little bit.
Sure, it's girls' season is starting right now as we speak. Today's the first day in Wisconsin for girls' high school golf. So that's going to run until middle of October. So we have a lot of girls under our umbrella that are competing in their high school season. We also have a lot of college players who they're going to get started here at the end of the month with all their qualifying, and then they roll into about 5 or 6 events that'll take them right up until middle of October. I would say kind of middle of October to November, they take a break a little bit, and then golf starts getting back on TV a little bit in December. They start getting the itch, and we start preparing for the winter programs and what their goals are for the next year.
Are you where you want to be numbers-wise? Is there room for you to still grow what you do and how many kids are involved out here? Is there a threshold at which you say, hey, we're where we're not going to do more than this as far as numbers?
We have a team in place, and we're looking to grow our team as well. So at this time, we're definitely still taking new students. Right now, there's maybe a little bit of a wait to get in, but come January, when we start our kind of new season off and winterizer program, we're definitely taking new students.
Yeah, and let me finish with this. We've talked about this in the past, but when we talk about the competitive success that you've had in this program, it begins with beginners. I don't know if that makes sense, but it begins with kids who really haven't played much before. Some parents and or kids will get intimidated. Oh, I'm not good enough to come out and be on. But they all start somewhere, right?
Right. We have, even in our junior league, we have a cycle program where we have basically kind of 3 different levels where we start with the beginners and get them used to playing the golf a little bit and having fun.
Yeah.
Getting some of the basic fundamentals down, and then they'll move up to the intermediate level where, again, they'll start to accept a little bit more of what we're telling them from a technical standpoint and a mental standpoint. And then we have the really competitive high-level players, but all of those players started at the bottom at one point, and it's just a funnel program that we do, and it seems to work.
Well, and you continue to have success. We'll put it all to bed here in a couple of weeks about the looking back at all the success you've had, but it starts with really good teachers. You have a great staff. Obviously, you know the game and have been such a fantastic teacher for a while. That comes from Dennis, too, who obviously you've continued to learn from. But the staff you've put together is all really good at what you're trying to accomplish as well, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'm fortunate to be with the Tizianis here for 20 years.
Yeah.
And learn from them, and now I'm kind of at the point where I can start passing along to the next generation. Yeah. And we have a great team in place. We have Mike Nagy. He just joined our section. He shot the lowest Wisconsin PGA score at 63 at U Ridge a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Excellent player. He's played on the mini tours. He played for Tennessee. We have Dylan Parisi, who is a award-winning certified club fitter on our team, who also does some instruction. Matt Kennedy is a PGA professional with us, and then we have Ryan, who's a PGA associate. So we have a great team in place, and we continue to grow that as well.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic work. As we continue at TPC Wisconsin, talking golf. Back in a moment.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Now is the time to take the short drive to Wild Rock Golf Club and experience championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Located in the Wisconsin Dells, this Herdston Fry masterpiece offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes with greens that roll fast and true. Cut from the natural beauty of the Dells, Wild Rock is sure to dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike any place you've played before. Come be part of the Wild Rock experience by booking your tee time online today at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, it's Matt LePay, and if you're a homeowner, this message is for you. If you're tired of worrying about your roof, siding, or gutters, look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of experience, they've got you covered, literally. From roofing to siding, windows to doors, and everything in between, trust Ridgetop Exteriors to enhance your home's curb appeal and protect it from the elements. Call them today for a free consultation and experience the peace of mind that comes with quality craftsmanship. Get started at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Are you in need of some rehabilitation to get you back on your feet after a fall or surgery? This is Paul Braun with Oak Park Place. Make a call to Oak Park Place Rehabilitation to develop a customized plan with their highly trained therapy staff. Whether it's inpatient or out, they will work with your physician to get you back on your feet fast. Located on the east and west side of Madison and in Janesville, Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more. TPC Wisconsin is the Total People Center, offering you and your family a totally enjoyable experience. That includes a challenging 18-hole layout, a good variety of programs for
Todd
junior golfers, indoor and outdoor tennis, athletic performance center, swimming pool, luxurious locker room, and spacious accommodations for family gatherings and weddings. TPC Wisconsin, a Total People Center, and a complete game for the whole family. For membership details, call 608-249-1000.
Your golf game need a pick-me-up? It's one-stop shopping only at Nevada Bob. Joel and his crew can equip you, dress you, teach you, and here's the best part. New or used, clubs, shoes, bags, carts, apparel, balls, you name it, and they got it. Isn't that right, Joel?
Your game, your store, always at the best price.
Mike up.
Back on Talking Golf along with Mike Heller and Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Braun and Todd Oehrlein, who is the coach for the UW Women's Badger Golf Team. And Todd, welcome to the show. Happy Labor Day to you. Let's start with why the fall schedule for women's golf, Todd? What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, I mean, it's just part of the college golf season. College golf plays both fall and spring.
Right.
Yep. And so I don't know, it's a great time of the year for us to be able to capitalize on coming off hopefully some good summers, and then hopefully get off to a good start here in the fall.
When you look at your team overall in terms of anticipation for this year, kind of just give us a rundown on expectations at this point.
Yeah, I thought we were pretty good last year. We were a little inconsistent last year in the fall actually, but played really solid in the spring. Had a really good spring, and hopefully we can kind of build off of that because we do have everybody returning. So we've got a lot of experience coming back. We actually have 4 seniors on the team, and then a lot of great depth behind them, and players that are also going to be in competition and and competing for spots throughout the fall. So so I'm optimistic about the season from that perspective, that we have some experience coming back, and we're going to be finishing up our first qualifier of the season here today, and so that'll kind of set the lineup for next weekend, where we get started here at home at the Badger Invitational, and that'll kind of set that lineup. But boy, there's a lot of golf to be played too yet throughout the course of the season.
Todd, I want to get back to your team here in a minute. By the way, it's Mike Heller. Let me ask you what I ask all coaches over the last 2 years. How different is it? Transfer portal, I don't know how much that plays for you, and or NIL, because it's part of all college athletics now, and I would assume that includes golf. How does it impact you?
It does impact us all. It's definitely part of college athletics, as you mentioned. I have not done a lot in the portal to this point, and so, but that doesn't mean that you don't have conversations and aren't looking all the time and trying to see that. As I mentioned at the start of it, I do have everybody kind of returning, and so. And I feel like we have pretty good depth. So I wasn't looking like this year just to bring in a player to add depth on that side of things. I think we have quite a bit of that. And so we didn't add anybody this year. But it is part of roster changes and movement for every sport. And you do see teams shuffle their lineups and reload and through the portal, and it's part of it. You mentioned NIL. NIL, it's funny, this is how I phrase it. I think NIL in our sport is being utilized almost more along the intentions of what it was intended to be used.
Yeah.
Most of our players have some sort of NIL. They have some things, and some of it might be some cash payments in exchange for some services and things like that. But in general, a lot of times it might be merchandise or apparel or something along those lines, right? But it's not used so much on the front end in the line of like recruiting inducements.
Sure.
And I think that's where it's always kind of interesting. You hear from the high-profile sports, and the visibility of basketball and football, and you have a lot of that recruiting inducement and where it plays a role. But once our players get here, I think the big thing is how do we help them navigate that space?
Right.
How do you help them kind of find some opportunity if they're interested? And but yeah, it's part of all college athletics, and most of our players have some sort of agreements with
sure,
to some extent.
Sure, and they're going to go to revenue sharing beginning in 2025. And I listened to an interview with the Ohio State AD a week or so ago, and he said as we roll forward, now Ohio State has 36, 38 Division I sports. I think Wisconsin has 26? 23. Okay. So, but the Ohio State AD said, listen, a lot of our other sports, Olympic caliber sports, are going to have changes going forward, not in a positive way from a budget standpoint. He said many of them are going to move to operating like a club sport, but competing at a Division I athletic level. Is there concern in your industry, in the golf industry of college athletics, about those issues rolling forward?
Well, I mean, I think the unknown always causes some concern, right, for people?
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned 36 sports at Ohio State or however many they have, and I certainly can't comment on their situation. But
right.
I know a number of those sports are not necessarily widely sponsored sports across the NCAA level, right? And so they may take kind of to like a club approach for some of those sports. Time will tell, obviously, Mike, like how it changes and how it affects our end. But the reality is that at some point in time, if there's 20 to 22 million roughly that's being talked about right now, that's going to have to go back to revenue share to the student athletes, that money needs to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And there's certainly going to be, a huge emphasis on increasing revenue, right? So hopefully you can kind of meet it that way. But there's certainly going to be some shift and some change. And it might, you don't know what it's going to look like, but it could be, it could be travel and, some limitations there. And there might be just a new way of doing business. But I don't necessarily think that has to mean that we're not committed to our student athletes, that we're not going to create an unbelievable experience for them, or that you still don't expect to compete.
Todd Oehrlein is with us, and he's the women's coach for golf at the UW. Todd, kind of a two-parter. In terms of quality of players that are potentially looking at playing in college, are there more gals than there used to be? And in your recruiting process and that kind of thing, where do you look? All over, or just kind of summarize those two areas?
Yeah, the depth has improved dramatically. I mean, just the level of scoring, the amount of really high-quality players is really, really increased and expanded. Paul, I think when I started, scoring averages were somewhere in that 310, 311, 312 for like team scoring averages, right? And you break 300 on a given day and it'd be a really big celebration, right? I think our team scoring average last year was something like 292, right? And so the type of play has just changed so dramatically over the years, and it's just their year-round commitment. It's a year-round approach to fitness and training and conditioning, and just they have no fear. They aren't afraid to go out and make birdies, and so that's super exciting to see. And you have to find those players. Where do we focus? We still try to focus. We're still Upper Midwest. That's still our base, right? We have two players on our roster right now from the state of Wisconsin, a player from Michigan, another one from Minnesota. It's still our base that we want to make sure we do a really good job recruiting the state of Wisconsin and do a really good job recruiting the Upper Midwest as a whole. But you have to look other places too. We have a little bit of a couple of international players over the years. Our number one player from last year returning is a player from Hong Kong. She's just been awesome. Awesome for her. She'll be a senior this year. And, a couple of players from California. And so you kind of have to look a little bit.
How complicated?
Expand a little bit.
Todd, how complicated is the international player from a recruitment standpoint and getting them into school? I know it used to be quite a bit different, and maybe it's eased up a little bit in that regard.
I don't know if it's eased up. I don't think it's very difficult at all. I haven't had any experience. At the end of the day, Mike, we're still recruiting people that have to fit the academic profile of the university, and that's part of what they're drawn to, right? That's part of why they're here. There's certainly going to be a TOEFL score requirement, which is an English language. Make sure that there's a test to prove that they're proficient with the English language. But assuming that isn't there and they're great students, we've had a lot of success with our international players, and they've been great fits academically at the university.
Very good.
They've been great teammates. They've been awesome players. Yeah.
Let me finish with this, and that is what it is that you're most looking forward to this fall. I know coaches get excited about opportunity, and obviously at the beginning of the season you have plenty out in front of you. What maybe excites you the most about what's coming this fall?
I from a competitive side of things, as a coach, there's always that speak, right? I do like that we've got a lot of depth. Our two freshmen, we had one Lauren Salmon, and then everybody around here is familiar with Izzy Stricker. Super excited to have both of those girls. Both have the ability to compete and be there and kind of compete. And so I think we have 9 players on our roster, and so there's that aspect that I'm really excited about. I like how they're together too, Mike.
Yeah.
They just right now they want to push. They want to kind of hold each other accountable through their effort and hard work. And I like the chemistry on that side of things. It's been really good, and I would expect it to be solid all season. It's just an exciting time, right?
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
a lot of energy on campus, and it spills over here to University Ridge this time of the year, and there's a lot going on. But from a coaching perspective, I like the balance, and I think it's going to be fun to watch them compete. See which players elevate, which players rise, how they manage some stumbles.
Yeah.
That's always kind of part of it. That's fun. That's what we do.
Well, very cool. We're going to look forward to scoreboard watching, and all the best to you. Thanks for jumping in with us today.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Todd Oehrlein, the Wisconsin women's golf coach. We got time for one more segment. We'll take a break here, come back and wrap things up from TPC Wisconsin on Talking Golf.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
University Ridge has been the proud host of the American Family Insurance Championship since 2016. We've enjoyed working with the American Family team to create 9 years of magical moments at University Ridge. Open to the public and consistently considered one of the best values in the country, University Ridge is the place for golf in southern Wisconsin. Book your tee time up to 90 days out online at universityridge.com. Play where the Badgers and the pros play, University Ridge.
Oak Park Place Memory Care Communities meet residents where they are in the journey with Alzheimer's and other form of dementia. This is Paul Braun for Oak Park Place. When you need to take that first step and learn more, turn to the experts at Oak Park Place. You'll meet a compassionate team who will help residents find purpose tailored to individual needs through a success-oriented program. Oak Park Place Senior Living. Visit oakparkplace.com to learn more.
Sounds good.
A lifetime. Since 1978, Clary has worked to develop true relationships with you, our customers. Hi, I'm Sean Clary, president of Clary Building Corp. Relationships are what drive our success. So whether you are looking at storage for your toys or a new ag building, we hope to exceed your expectations each time we serve you. We are here for every stage of your life. Build your dreams today at clarybuilding.com.
If you're a golfer who likes a challenge, consider being a member at TPC Wisconsin. The course provides you with a very challenging 18-hole layout that makes you think before you hit your next shot. After your round, you can relax at the completely renovated clubhouse. The new facility includes 3 restaurants, tennis courts, driving range, and programs for juniors, plus other great amenities. Are you up for the TPC Wisconsin Challenge? For details on becoming a member, 608-249-1000.
Mike's up.
And speaking of TPC Wisconsin, we're back at the golf course on Labor Day along with Mike Heller, Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Braun. Dennis, we haven't really talked a lot throughout the shows about TPC Wisconsin, but I tell you, Mike and I are out here as members, and I'm here every day because I live across the street and that kind of thing. You are seeing a tremendous amount of guest play here. There's a lot of, isn't there, Mike? There's a lot of people playing golf that you don't realize. I know a lot of things have changed, and you had a couple of big outings here, which are very beneficial and that kind of thing. So the environment is changing, but it seems like there's more people playing it every day, and the comments continue to be the same as they've always been. It's a fabulous layout.
Well, our goal environmentally was a big item. And, we now are part of that environmental group. There's only 5 in in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And we recently received an award, the second best course renovation in the United States.
That's pretty impressive.
In 24. So that part is good, and the inside is good too. But here's what's really good. We made up our mind, not made up our mind. We look at what's going on, and the only way you're really going to grow this business of golf is through the women's market. That's where it's at. And I look now of how many women play here, how many couples play here. And you mentioned about guests. Those guests are coming from our member who's bringing the guest here.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're coming from all over.
From everywhere, and we have a little over 1,033 requests and submissions for membership here. We're screening them because I want to be a little bit careful what's going on when we're bringing in. But it's really it's going wonderful. The reception of what we've got from a playability standpoint has been good. The service is good. Availability is good. Those were the things we were concerned about. So we feel good about where we are at this point. We're right on the money. We're a little bit ahead of schedule from our pro forma. So things are looking very good.
Let me ask you this question in our final minute and a half. Conditions, because you opened a year ago in August. So now that it's been open for almost 13 months, what do you think of the playing conditions? How has this golf course grown into itself in this last year?
Well, it has. Yeah. We have on a bi-weekly basis, TPC comes here by our request to give me an update, not the green super, to give me an update of where he thinks we are, and it's all positive every week. Now, are we making additions as we go along? Absolutely. Are there areas that, maybe a little bit slow? Yes, obviously we're doing that. But on a big whole, when I look at that, TPC, they're coming here in October. They're excited about doing this. They're getting so many reports. One of the last events we had, Tito's big event, they do things all over the country.
1 minute.
And the comment from that person who runs that came and see me. He says, he said, you raise the bar of TPC tournaments in the country.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Here. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
And he was very serious about it. So I feel good about what we've done, the organization, the planning, and the control.
Really good stuff. And if you haven't been out here, make your way out. Just get a hold of the folks here at TPC Wisconsin and find your way out. Take a tour. See what it's all about. We got 2 more golf shows yet to do this year.
Then we're done.
2 more. Then we're done. Dennis is kicking
we'll have
us
to
out.
find out if we're going to get rehired.
That's right. Exactly right. We'll come back and do this thing again next week. Hope you all have a fantastic wrap-up of the Labor Day weekend. We'll talk to you again next Monday, talking golf from TPC Wisconsin in Madison.
Good. Very good.
All right, Sean. When you are able to tell me the times of said breaks, I am ready.
I've got all except for number 3. I did not get the exact time, but I can pull it here in just 1 second when I get the podcast put together. I can get together 3 right now and then get you the ISKI codes for all 4 of them if you want that.
Okay, let's do, why don't we go ISKIs first?
Okay. First break is YALM 4126,000. 3 zeros.
Okay.
Break 2, YALM 4128,000.
Okay.
Okay.
Break 3, YALM 4135,000.
And then 4126 again, right?
Correct.
Who's his boss?
Maria.
First one aired at 5:50, or that'd be 6:15. Pardon me.
Okay, so
6:15:18.
Okay.
For 2, 6:26:05.
Hey, good luck tomorrow. Are you going to talk?
For 3, I'll get to you in just a moment.
With the church.
Number 4, the final one, is at 6:52:43.
1852.43.
See you, Tiz.
I'm getting
Thanks,
these
Tiz.
too.
You did okay for a change. Wow. What a guy.
I was trying to get it.